All information contained in this podcast is general in nature and does not consider your individual circumstances. You should consider the appropriateness of this information with regards to your individual objectives, financial situation, and needs. Welcome to Sharing More Than the Sheets, a podcast to help you and your partner make better financial and lifestyle decisions so that you can both focus on the things that you love. I'm your host, Michael Khouri, financial planner, green thumb, husband, and just dad. I want to talk about lifestyle creep. Now, most people have heard of it. Most people that have heard of it sort of understand what it is. You know, the name sort of explains it. It's a bit self-explanatory. It's a term that gets thrown around a fair bit. We've heard of lifestyle creep. Some people might talk about it. Some people might warn other people of it, but it's real. And it's something that I see regularly. It's something that I have people admitting to me that they've gone through it and their lifestyle has changed over the years. And what it basically is, lifestyle creep is when your standard of living increases alongside your discretionary income. And so essentially the extra money that you have left over, your lifestyle increases with that. And soon enough, essentially your luxuries, so things that you used to see as luxuries, which could be eating out or spending money on certain things, just becomes normal. And it happens slowly, which is why they call it creep, lifestyle creep, because it sneaks up on you. You don't really see it coming. And as an example, it could be that, a year ago or 5 years ago, getting takeaway 2 times a week was a bit of a big deal, but now it's just become normal. Or it could be going on a holiday used to be once a year, and now it's 4 times a year. Now, don't get me wrong, it's really important to enjoy life, and money is not everything. And there are memories with family and that you can't put a price on. There's mental health. You can't put a price on having a positive, feeling positive, feeling good, and looking after yourself physically and mentally. But at the same time, it's really important to be aware of this whole lifestyle creep thing. And I've heard it from a few people recently where, for example, their interest rate has gone up on their mortgage, and they're telling me that, when their rate was half of what it is now, that they couldn't save money. But now they're managing to afford an extra, for example, say $1,000 a month in repayments, and they can afford it. And they then ask themselves, and then they ask me, where was this money going before? And I can tell you now, if you have a budget and you lay it out and you look at your income and expenses, you'll probably work out very quickly where it is. And all it takes is an extra $700-800 a month, which works out to be an extra $10,000 a year almost. So, it adds up, and it could be buying clothes you probably don't need. It could be having multiple subscriptions that you don't have time to watch and enjoy all of them. It could be putting money into a hobby and just sinking money into that, and you're not really enjoying it as much as you used to. It could be so many different things, or just randomly buying things online that you probably don't need. But these are all things that you need to be very, very careful of, because what they do is they, in a way, and it happens, they prevent you from putting your money towards other things like investing into your health, but also investing into shares, into property, into managed funds, into your superannuation, into other things. Because you think, I can't afford to invest right now. There's no money left over every month. But there was, but at the same time, when you were earning a lot less 4 years ago, for example, you still had no money left over at the end of every month. So what's changed? Yes, we pay more tax as we earn more income, of course, but usually there's something there. There's something going on. And it's really important to be aware of that. And I'm talking it could be $50 a month you could be investing or putting away. It could be anything. It doesn't need to be a substantial amount. Now, this is important for a couple of reasons. The first one is the one I've just mentioned. The second reason it's really important to identify this whole lifestyle creep thing is when you're nearing retirement, when you're nearing a situation where your income is not going to be as much as it was before because you've retired, or because maybe you've gone from full-time to part-time because you've had children, or maybe your partner's taken time off work for children, and your income, like your overall household income, is about to reduce. And if your lifestyle is still up here and your income reduces down to here, you are really, really going to struggle. So it's really important to just be aware of what is happening, what is going on. And the best way to do that, again, I've said it before, I've said it again, just then in this episode, but it's have a budget, have a way to monitor what's coming in, what's going out, so that you can be aware of this whole lifestyle creep thing. Maybe regularly put money away and invest it and save it regularly. There's different budgeting methods out there. There's the 50-30-20 rule. There's the 70-20-10 rule, I think they call it. There's the 40-30-20-10 rule. There's the 45-64, whatever, so there's so many rules that people have made up over the years. Like every situation is different, so it's hard to just set percentages. This is where it helps to have an advisor and to talk to someone. But essentially just regularly put a certain amount away and increase that amount as your income goes up. That's probably the simplest way to put it. Now, a lot of this is subject to what your goals are, and this is why you should seek personal advice, and it helps to have an advisor. But just have a system in place, have something there. And lastly, the accountability. The accountability that you get from a financial advisor, the accountability that you get from your partner. Talk to someone about these things and just be aware of it to manage this whole lifestyle creep thing so that you can make better decisions, so that you can focus on the things that you actually love and continue to do them for many, many, many years. And, maybe drop that subscription or maybe drop that extra bit of online shopping you don't need to be doing or that bit of takeaway. But just be careful of your lifestyle and if it's creeping up. Thanks for joining us on Sharing More Than the Sheets. Please make sure you subscribe to be updated with future episode releases, and feel free to share this episode with any friends or family that you think it might benefit. Please visit us at sharingmorethanthesheets.com.au to submit questions or requests for future podcast topics. These podcasts have been brought to you by Better Financial Planning Australia. To book a 15-minute phone chat, visit betterfinancialplanning.com.au.